Dylan Kerr, the coach of Black Leopards. You know, I know all the broadcasters have been looking to do an interview with you, so we're really honored that you've been on and made sure that Sport at 10 was the first place you come. Dylan, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm absolutely fantastic.
First of all, I didn't recognize you when you walked in because I'm like, he's wearing a suit. Like, and you Leopards fans know, like, when have you seen him in a suit, right? Like, this is for us?
I was walking in Santon today and I felt like I was an accountant or a businessman. You know, all I was missing was my briefcase. But
suit!
You know,
looking the part, coach!
And shoes.
Huh? I mean, 7 wins and now look, it's off to the Premiership. This is how the Premiership coaches dress in England.
I have to look the part on TV.
Now, you were appointed in November, Black Leopards, and since then, 7 games, 1 loss, huge wins along the way. What has been the secret to turning this Black Leopard side around?
Just giving the players the trust and the belief that I know that they've got individually, and I know that we can take that individualism into a team game and make it work. And so far they've bought into my ideas, they've bought into my beliefs, and I've given them the trust. You know, I trust them and they trust me, and that's a big thing you need in football, and only success comes with trust.
And you've got Musonda scoring goals because he had stagnated, wasn't scoring. Suddenly, he's on that burst of form, 8 goals in like 9 games or something. That's another secret that we need to know, what magic you're pouring in his water.
Obviously, when I came, my first game was at Wits, but I wasn't allowed to be on the bench. So I was sitting in the stand, so I was a supporter, I was a spectator. And I could see, obviously, your striker's your first line of defence, you know, and it's the last line of attack. So you tend to look at the striker more than anybody on that football field, your goalkeeper and your striker. And I could see his confidence was low because his body language was all wrong. You know, his shoulders were slouched, his head was down, his energy levels weren't what I expected them to be because he wasn't scoring goals. And as a striker, if you're not scoring goals, you complicate the games because you overthink, you overplay, you overtry, and you end up coming out a lot worse. And game by game by game, it affects you so psychologically that it affects your game. But I had a word with him and I said, look, just trust me. You know, we'll work hard on my strikers and my crossing and finishing and creating chances, and the goals will come. And if you have faith in what we do as a team, I think you'll become the top goal scorer in South Africa.
When you're hired, and the club was struggling at the time, what does Mr. Tidiela say to you? What he requires of you when he hires you at Black Leopards?
Well, obviously, he wants to stay in the PSL. Like every club that gets promoted, they want to, you know, not get relegated into the NFD. I had a very brief conversation with him. I was in the UK. I was visiting with my family. I was due to go back to Gor Mahia, and a 5-minute phone call, just through his enthusiasm and his belief in what he wanted for Black Leopards. He asked me a question about my coaching philosophy, and I said, before I answer that, can I ask you, what do you want for the football club? Do you want a coach that wants to coach and win things and do things? Or do you want a coach that wants a job? And his answers were, do you want the job? And
Simple conversation.
That was it, 5 minutes. 5 minutes, and you know, you don't have to think about it. You have to go with your gut instinct. And as soon as I'd agreed, I'd got emails, I'd got text messages, WhatsApp messages, Twitter messages from friends, from colleagues, from people that knew of the chairman and knew of Black Leopards. Coach, you're making the biggest mistake of your life.
And you know, the thing is that Mr. Tidiela didn't just pull you out of the sky, because here's Coach Dylan Kerr, who's been in Vietnam. Then you went and coached one of the biggest clubs in Tanzania, Simba. Then Gor Mahia is one of the biggest clubs in Kenyan football.
Biggest.
And you took them to 2 league titles in Kenya. You've been with Mpumalanga Black Aces here in South Africa. So there was a pedigree to you. He just wasn't taking a risk on an unknown coach.
Well, obviously, you, as a chairman, you want people to do your homework. I mean, I got the Gor Mahia job through my goalkeeper coach at Simba. And when the chairman phoned him, he recommended myself for the job, and it was a no-brainer to go there. And basically, that was the situation when Black Leopards approached me. Bearing in mind, in June, I turned down Polokwane City when they offered me the job.
You turned it down?
I turned it down, yes, because...
Straight up, the paperwork was here, come sign, coach, we want you to work at Polokwane City.
The offer was there, yeah, the offer was there. You know, I just had to say yes. It was all agreed. Gor Mahia was in the Confederations Cup, and I believed at the time that we had momentum, we were doing really, really well. And I actually believe that we could have done very, very well if we had got to the quarter-final stage. We lost in the group stages by goal difference to Rayon Sports, but the situation was completely taken out of my hands by the officials at Gor Mahia because they promised the players an incentive, a bonus for getting into the group stages, and it never materialised. And you know, players, a lot of players are motivated by a financial reward, and it affected us, on the pitch, and it affected the result, and it affected us qualification for the quarter-finals. And I actually stayed at Gor Mahia because I believed in what I was doing and what we were going to achieve, and it just didn't happen because of that. And
your most recent achievement, beating Orlando Pirates in the Nedbank Cup last 32. How was that achieved?
Again, belief and enjoyment, enthusiasm, energy, and that determination not to lose. We have training sessions daily, and it's horrible to watch in an exciting way because the players are so committed. The tackles that go in, the competitiveness, the demand on each other, the fights that we have, if a team's losing, the disagreements, and we take that into the game. Everything we do is geared to the game that we played. So Orlando Pirates has won, we're qualified for the next round, that's been put to bed. We concentrate now on Sunday's fixture at
What style of football is Black Leopards playing right now, if you had to put that in a sentence?
Honest football. And by I mean honest is that these players are playing the way that they believe they should play. They're playing it with a lot of encouragement, a lot of enthusiasm. They're playing it with a lot of passion. The mindset now is that we're going to go and play entertaining football, but we're going to go play entertaining football trying to win the game. Obviously, we're going to get caught on counter-attacks because the level of intensity that we do play at, we're going to get caught short sometimes. But we've got a great defence. We've got a great... I've got a great squad of 32 players that are desperate to play for the starting 11 at Black Leopards.
My last question to you, coach, is this season, is silverware on the horizon? What are the targets to achieve?
Targets to achieve, the main target is to stay in the PSL. The main target is to get this club recognised as a forceful team in the PSL instead of, as somebody told me this morning, we were favourites to go down. Everybody expected Black Leopards to get relegated because of in-house politics and what's
and
previously added. But I said to the players when I came here, go to bed dreaming of the NFD because you don't want to go back there. You don't want to. You've got out of it. Stay out of it. And the only way you can do that is by enjoying the game of football and doing your best, giving your best, and being honest. That's at the end of the day. You can't come back to anybody who works hard and does the right things both on and off the field.
There you have it, Coach Dylan Kerr.